All right, y'all. All right. We're gonna do our mastermind live today on YouTube, and we are going to be making this video. We are gonna be having classes on Sunday. I say yay instead of day because we want to say yay, hooray. Day is closely affiliated to days, and we are not in a days, right? So we are going to be trying something new here. We're going to be having classes on Sunday at 12 noon and Tuesday at 8 p.m. evening time, both Eastern Standard Time because I'm in North Carolina. So 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, uh, 8 p.m. In the evening on Tuesday Eastern Standard Time. Um, so first of all, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Dragon Manifest or Dragon Manifesto. Okay. Um, Pretty much, I'm your average everyday guy. Tell you guys all the time. Ain't nothing super special about me. Um, mostly driving my old pickup truck, manifesting a brand new pickup truck, but mostly driving my old pickup truck. Live off grid when I'm home, pooping buckets, all that type of stuff. Um, I am not um, the type of guy that's gonna tell you you could make $10,000 a month doing real estate, $20,000 a month, $100,000 a month. It is true, it is possible, okay, but I'm only here to tell you what I've done in real estate, okay. I'm only here to tell you or show you how you can do the same thing. Okay. So if you're looking for one of them guys that make 10, 20,000, 100,000 a month in real estate, then I'm not the channel for you. Now, what I do, yes, you can make that type of money. You absolutely can make that type of money. Okay. It just takes a lot of work. People don't like to say that, it takes a lot of work. That's what the gurus are not going to tell you, is that it takes a whole lot of work. It's a job. You literally, if you expect to make 10, 20,000, $100,000 a month, all you're doing is working a job that's high paying, and it's absolutely worth it. If all you got to do is sit in front of a computer and look at properties all day, all yay, and talk to sellers, property owners, and make 10, 20,000, $100,000 a month, it's absolutely worth it. But the real truth, once you get into real estate, you'll find out you have to do multiple things in real estate to make that type of money. That's why these gurus are selling books and tapes, because they're not making the money that they say they're making. I'm the only one honest enough to tell you the truth. Okay. I'm the only one honest enough to tell you the truth. All right. Now, can you make an average of 1,000, 2,000 a month? Yes, absolutely. That's easy. That is easy. You can make an average 1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month doing this real estate business. Easy. Okay. And that's within your first year, because it took me a year to get to that point. All right. Because all you're doing is you're getting a property, and I'll show you how to do that. All you're doing, you're getting a property. Once you get that property, you're going to rent it out. You're going to rent it out. You're going to rent it out conventionally. You're going to rent it out on Airbnb. You're going to rent it out in ways like not just people staying on your property, but you could rent out your property to storage. For storage, people want to store their car, their boat, their RV. Like all these ways, whenever you have property, you can make money. Okay. You can make money all these ways whenever you have property. All right. So, yes. And if you just want to do something to where um, you're not necessarily making money off the property, but you're making money um, flipping properties, you same thing. You can do that too. You can average about 1,000, 3,000 flipping properties, wholesaling paperwork, wholesaling properties, or recommending properties to people, um, all that type of stuff. Okay, that is the truth. That is the truth. The truth is the average individual starting off in real estate, within the first year, 2 years, you're gonna start off by making a thousand, $3,000 a month. That is the absolute truth. Okay. Back in the day, maybe you could have made more, but now in 2024, as we speak, and that's what I'm speaking on now in 2024, as we speak, if you're just starting off in real estate, after about a year or within a year, that is going to be how much money you're making. So don't quit your day job, your night job, your weekend job. Don't quit your job. Now eventually, that is what you want to do. Okay, absolutely, that's what I'm telling you. That should be your goal, that should be your focus, is to eventually quit your job if you don't like your job. If you love your job, then obviously stay on your job. But if you want to transition to doing something that you love and you love real estate, then absolutely, um, it can be done. It's just going to take a year. I'm being honest with you guys, a year, 2 year. And most of these guys will tell you it took them a year to get their first deal. Jamil Gibbs will tell you it took him 14 months to get his first deal. Um, um, my other mentor, Chris Haskins, he'll tell you he had it was nothing but nightmares trying to do his first deal. My another mentor, Nazir, will tell you he lost $8,000 on his first deal. So everybody have a nightmare story on their first deal, whether it took them forever to get their first deal or they lost money on their first deal. Okay, so thinking you're just gonna buy a course and take off $5,000, $10,000 a month, it's not happening. So this is the problem that I found with real estate and real estate gurus. Okay, so I'm solving that problem. I'm telling people the truth. I'm telling you guys you need to educate yourself properly in real estate. Okay, this is what I do. I'm educating you guys properly in real estate. In real estate, okay. No guru talk about your due diligence. None of them. They don't teach you to do your due diligence. All they do is they grab a couple pieces of paper and they tell you all you need is these two pieces of paper, and you could become a real estate master and make 1,000, $10,000 a month. Look at some of my students who've made $100,000 on their first deal. Okay, so this is what they do. They're lying. I'm gonna tell you guys straight up. I'm not gonna call any names, but they're lying. Okay. My first mentor, one of my first mentors, Max Maxwell, he never sold a course. I think he still don't even have a course. Okay. And this is one of the reasons is because it takes a lot of work to train people, teach people this business the real way. Okay, you have to hold people's hands. Okay, trying to get people to learn real estate is not an easy task. What I do is not an easy task. um Hang on one second, guys, hang on. All right, guys. So we are gonna be having class live today to show you guys exactly what we do in our class. Okay. And what I'm gonna be doing is it's $15. It was $5 before. I had to raise the price to $15 to enter the mastermind class. It's not five anymore, it's 15. And also um I do one-on-one, that's $222. And I do $222 for 1 year, and that covers your mastermind fees and one-on-one consultation with me. Um, and also that's just to do properties if you want to buy properties, owner finance, and all that type of stuff. Um, if you guys want to turn your property into a business, that's $333. So instead of 222, it's 333. And then if you guys say, "Hey, Dragon, I don't have time for any of this. I just need you to get me the property. I'll pay for it. Set everything up for me. Set up a business on the property for me." That's $999. Okay, I can do all the work for you. All right. So for 222, you're doing the work, but I'm holding your hand. And for 333, same thing. You're doing the work, but I'm holding your hand. Okay. And then if you just want the information and to get in the mastermind, you don't need me to hold your hand. It's $111. It's $111. All right. And if all you want to do is just pay for the mastermind up front for 1 year, it's $99. Excuse me, not $99, $55. $55. Hey, Miss Nadine. So, can you hear me, Miss Nadine? Okay, perfect. All right. So, what we are gonna discuss is everything. I'm gonna start from the beginning in real estate. Is what we're gonna discuss. The first thing should be the obvious. Should be the obvious thing. What everybody. The reason why it stopped me. It took me 15, 20 years to purchase real estate. Okay, purchase land, purchase property, whatever you want to call it. The reason why it took me so long, the reason why it take most people so long is one reason. You think you need credit. You think you need a lot of money and you think you need a lot of credit. Okay? This is the first thing. Hang on, guys. Let me do this. Oh, I'm on the wrong phone. Uh okay, everybody should know. Hang on, everyone. Let me do this real quick. The first thing is everybody think they need good credit and a lot of money, so everybody's typically going crazy trying to fix their credit, trying to save money just to own something to have somewhere to live. Now, this is true. If you have perfect credit, are good enough credit, 640, 650, 612 sometimes, boom, you could go right into a property. If you have money saved up, this is true, boom, you could go right into a property, purchase a property, right? But that should not stop anybody. It should not stop anybody. It does not have to stop you. Just because you have no money or a little bit of money, Just because you have bad credit, it does not mean you cannot be a property owner. Okay? It does not mean you cannot be a property owner. I'm going to say it again. Yes, if you have no money or low money, and if you have bad credit, you can still be a property owner. Now, you do need to have some type of income because you are going to be paying for your property month after month after month. Okay. But I also show you how to generate that money from the property you purchase to be able to pay for that property. Basically, the property paying for itself. So you can literally, yes, go on some property, live on a property, generate money from the property paying for itself. Eventually, you're living rent free. It's possible. That is more possible, okay, than making 5, 10, $20,000 a month off ripped, like most of these gurus are trying to tell you. That is more possible. All right. So I got my mastermind guys on video, and I'm gonna be mainly talking to them on video and not necessarily to my YouTube audience. Okay, I'm really recording this for my mastermind group, and then once I finish going live on YouTube, I'm gonna make the video so only my mastermind class can view this video on replay. So if you want to be able to get in my mastermind and watch these videos on replay or be live with me or have one-on-one with me, you have to pay the fee. Okay? This is exclusively for those that are already in my mastermind. Now, um, once you get that in your head, because that's really something you have to do is get that in your head. You have to have a paradigm shift in your head that this is possible. Yes, I'm out here with no money, no credit, but I could literally own a property. That's what happened to me. I put that on everything. For some reason, you guys, I told you this story a million times. I got evicted from my place that I was renting, and for some reason, I thought I could buy a property. The spirit, God put it in my heart. I'm gonna make you buy a property even though you don't have no money, no credit. That's literally what I said in my mind because I told myself I would never rent again. I told myself I would never ever rent again. I'm not going through it again. I made my son to go live with my mom. I made arrangements with her. I pick him up from school, spend time with him. Matter of fact, I'm gonna spend more time with him now because I'm able to live mobily or nomadically, and I don't have to drive 45 minutes to come pick him up and all of that stuff. I could literally park anywhere and live. So going through that process 3 4 months, I found a property. Long story short, sure enough, I put $350 down, paid $450 a month. It was 1.25 acres in Clewiston, Florida. A bug went off in my head when that happened. Something went off in my head. This is unreal. I can't believe I'm actually doing this. This must be some kind of scam. The whole time, mind you guys, the whole time I'm paying for my property and giving the lady my 350, I thought I was being scammed, but I didn't care. I did not care. The reason I didn't care is because if I'm paying rent, I'm getting scammed anyway. I'm getting scammed anyway. I'm throwing money away anyway. So I said, let me just try. Let me just try. I'm gonna see if I get scammed, I get scammed, but at least I learned something. I gave her my 350, signed the paperwork, the promissory note, paying 450 a month. Out the blue, somebody offered to buy the property from me. I told her due to the situation. Um, um, I went to Miss Maria, told her the situation. Somebody want to buy the property from me. How does that work? Like he basically said he would pay me the money, I pay you off, and then we put the title in his name, right? That guy that brought the property from me actually knew more about real estate than I did. He actually did. He knew more about real estate than I did. I bought the property for 9,000. He was willing to pay 16. The only reason is because It was no more properties around there for sale. I literally brought the last one, if not one of the last ones. It was nothing else for sale over there. So if there's nothing else for sale, if there's no inventory, now you have to go to people that own what you want and offer them something that will entice them to want to sell to you. That's how the economy works, right? So, long story short, he bought the property from me for 16,000 cash. After everything, I ended up with like 4,500 because I paid the closing and all the fees and stuff, and I took off after that. Okay, so I keep telling you guys, I keep telling everybody, this is real. This is a real thing. It is a real thing. And if you've been rocking with me for any amount of time, you see that it's a real thing. Now, what do I need to do? How do I get started? Contracts. Okay, you guys have to know contracts. One of the things I'm gonna do for you guys, hold on, I'm kind of discombobulated. I gotta go get my contracts. One of the things I'm gonna do for you guys is I'm gonna actually read contracts to you. The first contract I'm gonna read, and I'm gonna go get it right now, is a trust contract, and I might not even have to do that. Let me do this. I'm gonna read you guys a trust contract. Okay. After we go through the different type of contracts, because that is literally what you need to have is your contracts in order before you get started. You got to have your contracts in order before you get started. Okay. Once you have your contracts in order, your promissory note contract, you have to know what that is. Your trust contract, you have to know what that is. Your purchase contract, you have to know what that is. Okay. Your offer contract, you have to know what that is. Okay. And you have to know how to write a heartfelt letter to these sellers. Okay. So you pretty much need five paperworks in this business to do what we do. And this is less than what you need in a conventional purchase of a property. It's actually less. When you purchase a property conventionally, they run in your credit. They need all your bank statements for 12 months, 24 months. They need all your W-2s for 2 years. They need your verification of rent, right? They call it a VOR, something like that, verification of rent. They need your verification of employment. Okay, we haven't even bought nothing yet. They need all this stuff. They now after you pass all of that, some of them want a letter from your employer that your job is secure. They're your employer gonna keep you there, right? Then they want you, it's another letter they want you to have, all right, I forget the name of that thing, but it's basically they want you to write a letter of intention. Okay. A lot of uh banks want you to have this letter of intention, right? Now, once you finally find a property, or excuse me, before that, you have to get a realtor. When you finally find a realtor, you got to sign a contract with the realtor that you're going to exclusively use that realtor, right? So this is 8 things already. Then once you find a realtor, the realtor find your property. Now you got to get um the purchase contract between you and the seller. Okay? So now you got 9 things you had to do. Okay? Then once you finally get the purchase contract, guess what? They're gonna run your credit again right before you purchase the property. They want a verification of your job again to make sure you still have your job the day before closing. A lot of deals do not close because people be done lost their job or messed up their credit the day before closing, the day before closing. All right. And this is something that they just started doing like recently. Back in 2008, 2009, it wasn't like this because they had Nina and Sissa. That's no income, no asset. You could literally just sign your name, long as you had 612 credit or a job or something like, and or a job or something like that. You could buy a house, right? That was in a Bill Clinton era, okay? But now you have to have all of this stuff going on to purchase a house. Even if you have good credit, even if you have money in the bank, if you don't have a rental history, if you've been living in your mama house, your daddy house, your cousin them house, if you've been living in your vehicle to save money, a lot of banks will not give you the money to go buy a house. They want to see you can pay for housing consistently. Okay, you have to have a verification of rent. Am I lying, Nadine and Lavonda? If I'm lying about anything, somebody stop me. Because Nadine owned properties before. She could tell you. So with this process, by owner financing, you are cutting out 80% of that. You don't need no verification of income, verification of rent. They don't need to pull your credit. They don't need to see your W-2s. They don't need to see your bank statements. You don't have a realtor. You're not dealing with no realtor. Um, it's literally you and a seller. That's all it is. It's you and another person, and you guys. This person want to sell this property. They want to sell it. You want to buy it. Okay, you want to buy it. Now, why? Now you say, why would this person want to sell this property to me? The reason why is because the property 99.999% is considered unfinanceable. Okay, for whatever reason, it could be a nice, pretty house, all the bells and whistles down to dirt. And with land, most banks don't finance land. If they do, it's 50% to value. They're only going to give you 50% of what it's worth. You got to come up with the other 50%, right? But for some reason, the reason why this person has to sell it owner financing is because it's not financeable. Everybody come to buy the property, the banks won't finance the people to buy the property. For whatever reason, it could be the property is just in a location where banks not giving money in that location. 9 times out of 10, the property will not pass inspections. Okay? If it's a house, it will not pass inspections. Again, if it's land, most banks don't lend money on land. So most times the way you can buy land is this way, owner financing. Okay? If it's a house and the bank is not lending money on it, it's because the house is not financeable. The house looks raggedy. The house needs a roof. The house needs a proper HVAC. The house need a new electrical system, need a new septic system, need a new plumbing system. There's something going on in that house that the bank will not finance it. That's another thing. When you buy a house, you have to have inspections. The bank will not. I don't care how much you love the house, how much how good your credit is, how everything is good to go. If that house does not pass inspection, the bank will not give you the money to purchase it. They won't. Why? Why are they going to give you to purchase a house that's a lemon and you're not going to pay your payments, and now the bank has to call you and send you letters, and now you tell the bank, you gave me the money to buy this house and I got to fix the plumbing, I got to fix the electrical, I got to fix the roof. I didn't know this. Y'all should have told me I needed an inspection. Okay? This is why you cannot, under any circumstances that I know of, purchase a house without an inspections. And guess who got to pay for the inspection? You, the buyer. You, the buyer. So not only do you have to have your down payment good credit, verification of rent, verification of employment, W-2, um, bank statements, all this stuff. You got to go pay for inspections. I'm just warming up. I'm just warming up. What's the other thing you got to go pay for, Nadine? An appraisal. The bank not gonna give you any money unless you the buyer. Yes, you are buying this property. You gotta go pay to your own appraiser to get the property appraised. That's crazy, right? You trying to buy this house, you would think the seller need to get the appraiser. The seller need to get the inspections. No, you the buyer have to do it. The reason why is now the seller can pay for it, but what happens is they don't want it to be a situation where the seller got their own little thing going on with the appraisal company or the appraisal person, or their own little thing going on with the inspector, right? The seller might know an inspector, they might know an appraiser, so they rig the numbers or whatever to, because the seller's the one paying for it. If you the buyer is paying for the inspection, you go get your own inspector, you go get your own appraiser. If anything happens, that's your bad. That is your bad. So this is why it's the buyer's responsibility to get the appraisal and to get the inspector. Back in the day, it used to be $300, $100. I remember when my mom and dad bought their first house, it was like $150, $200. Now it's $1,000 for inspection. Average, $1,000 for appraisal. Average. Okay, I'm telling you, it's crazy. Now, on top of all of this, in 2024, what's the average price of a house? Over $350,000. It's crazy. It's madness out here. Now, this part you're gonna call me a conspiracy theorist, but the reason why is their agenda is for people to own nothing and be happy. This is their own whole agenda. And I'm trying to save you guys from being in that crowd where you own nothing and you're just so happy that you own nothing because you don't have to go through all of this craziness to buy a property. You don't have to go through all of this craziness to maintain the property. You don't have to fix no toilets, do anything, right? That is how they're trying to make it. Is so difficult to purchase a house that people just give up. People just say, I'll pay my $1,000, $2,000 a month, shut up over here and be happy, go to work, or give you my whole social security check to live somewhere. That is what they're trying to do. And I'm telling you guys, you don't have to live like that. You can participate in property ownership. Okay. You can participate. Now, it is going to take some work. Okay. But what I'm trying to tell you is it's less work. Okay. It's less work. I remember when I was trying to buy a house in 20, when I had all three times I was trying to buy a house, right? I had to go, I was 25 years old. I had to go to the bank, get all my bank statements. My wife at the time had to get all her bank statements. We had to get all our credit. We had to show our W-2. It took us about one whole week of work just to get the paperwork together for the bank. We hadn't even find an inspector, find the appraisal. We was just starting to deal with the realtor, just for us to get all this. But and when I went to the bank for the bank, because back then we didn't have all this sophisticated stuff. We had to literally go to the bank. The bank had to print out physically all our bank statements, and we had to take this much worth of paperwork to the realtor, or to the what we had back then was a mortgage processing company, right? So the mortgage processing company would find a bank for you or the loan for you, or if you dealt directly with your bank or a bank, then you have to take that to that bank, or if you was if your bank was buying you that house, they already have your bank statements on record. So you know, but long story short, all you have to do these days is have these 5 pieces of paper. You guys have to write up, and I'm literally gonna have to leave you guys on hold unless, baby, I need my briefcase out the truck. I meant to get it. You gonna get it from me? All right. My baby gonna go get my briefcase out the truck. So I could show you guys the 5 pieces of paperwork that you guys need. Literally, the only work it's gonna take you is finding the seller. That's it. That's the only work it's gonna take you. But when you purchasing a property, you gotta find a property anyway. When if you got good credit, if you got good everything right now, everything all good, guess what? You still running around here with your realtor looking for a property. Am I lying, 18? You still running around looking for a property. So this is why when I talk to my students, I tell you guys this process is the same process as if you was buying a regular house. It's the same process. You'll be on the internet, you'll be on Zillow looking at properties, you'll be trying to buy this property, and the seller tell you, no, I don't want to sell it to you, or I got it on a contract already. Especially if they racist or whatever, they'll look at you and say, no, I'm not selling to them. You're gonna go through the same thing. You're gonna be looking at a bunch of properties. You're gonna be looking at a bunch of sellers. All these sellers gonna tell you no. You're gonna find a bunch of properties you don't like, waste your time. You're gonna drive out. It's the same process. It's the same process. Okay. It's just like if you're looking for somewhere to rent, right? When you guys looking for somewhere to rent, you going through all the whole internet, you calling all your friends, all your family members, everybody. Y'all know anywhere to rent? Y'all know anywhere to rent? You on Craigslist looking for a place to rent? In other words, looking for a place is looking for a place. You're gonna have to look for a place regardless of what. But the way I'm showing you guys, you're not looking for a place to rent. You're not looking for a place that is going to be asking you for credit and income verification and all this type of stuff. Now you having a paradigm shift in your mind. You're looking for a place that, hey, you're going to tell them, I want to buy your property. I'm interested in buying your property. I'm not looking for anywhere to rent. And also, Mr. Seller, Mrs. Seller, I'm not looking to leverage my credit or anything like that. Would you be interested in selling me your property owner financing? That's it. You done. They might say, well, I'll rent it to you. No, I'm going to say it again. I'm not looking for anywhere to rent, and I'm not looking to leverage my credit. Are you looking, would you consider owner financing me your property? That's it. You done. Okay. We are stepping away from renting, and we are stepping away from the bank. Okay. That's all we're doing. There's a third way. This is the third way I'm showing you guys. Owner financing. This is the third way I'm showing you guys. Now, you guys probably know about owner financing. But the way you know about owner financing is you got to put down 20%. That's a lot of money. Most people don't have 20%. On $100,000 house, that's $20,000. What we are looking specifically for is people that, and again, if you have the $20,000 and you want to do that, that's fine. Now, the other criteria that we're looking for is people that have not paid their taxes. The property has not gone into foreclosure yet. It's not gone into an auction yet. Simply, these people have not paid their taxes for 1 or 2 years, 3 years. Simple, 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 simple. So the two things we're looking for, it's actually three, but we don't know the third one until we speak to them. The third one is people that have not paid their mortgage or their note. Okay. But the two main things we're looking for is the property's unfinanceable at that point. It might have a note on it. It might have a note on it. But because the property owner has not kept up with the property, maintained the property, for somebody else to now buy that property, it's not going to happen because that property owner has not maintained that property. They've not kept up with something is broke on the house. Everybody follow me? Everybody follow me? Put a thumbs up or raise your hand if I know you follow me. Okay. This is the only thing, guys. This is the only thing. Okay. So now instead of wrecking your brain, because either way, you're going to wreck your brain. Either way, when you're looking for a car, when you're looking for a house, when you're looking for a mate in life, a husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, anything you're looking for in life, you're going to wreck your brain. So, thank you, babe. So, we're not looking to wreck our brain, try go crazy trying to find some and look at this. When you're looking for somewhere to rent, it's the same process. Am I lying? A lot of them want you to have good credit. You got to pay an $80 application fee per applicant. Per applicant. So if it's you, your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, your offsprings, everybody gotta pay them $80 application fee. Huh? If they're over 18. If they're over 18. Now you get denied. You gotta go find somewhere else. Now you got an eviction. They don't want you. You're a felony. They don't want you. You owe child support. They don't want you. You don't have no job, no income. Same thing with renting. Renting, you gotta have what? Verification of a job. They want to see a W-2. Huh? 3 times. Yeah. You gotta have money. You gotta have 3 times the rent down payment. Oh, that's how much you gotta make. I haven't rented in so long. I don't know the up to dates on this thing. My baby telling me you gotta have 3 times. You got your income gotta be 3 times the rent. So, babe, you telling me if you didn't make 3 times the rent, you wouldn't even be able to rent? Three thousand. Can I get a testimony? Is this correct? Can somebody co-sign? So basically, what y'all telling me is that when you renting, it's actually more of a hassle than the way I'm telling you guys to own. This new to me. This new to me. So that's why I'm getting excited. It's even more of a hassle trying to find somewhere to rent. That means you could be a hustler. You make your money on the side, right? You got a side hustle, so you ain't really claiming taxes. You taking cash. You don't have no pay stub to show you make 3 times the rent. That means you can't rent nowhere. You gotta find a private person that you gotta say, hey ma'am, hey sir, I don't have all this stuff that they normally ask for rent. Can you owner rent me this property? Basically, you got to find somebody that's willing to let you rent their property without any verification or do it the ghetto way. Yeah. So literally, guys, what I'm showing you, and since I discovered this thing is actually easier than trying. And It just clicked in my brain what my baby telling me is right because I haven't rented in so long. I forgot. I remember when I was trying to find a place to rent one time. This one time I was trying, and that is why, matter of fact, when I got evicted from my place, that is why something clicked in my brain. I'm not even going to go try to find nowhere to rent again because I knew how much of a hassle it was going to be. I was working for myself, and at that time, I didn't have no proper structure. I didn't have no proper bank account. I was getting cash. I was getting money from here, there. I was just hustling. My credit was bad. I already knew I wasn't going to qualify to rent nowhere. And I already knew the only person was going to allow me to rent from them was going to be some trashy landlord. I was going to be renting some raggedy house or apartment or studio, or they was going to ask me for like some exuberant amount of money down to rent their place. They was going to ask me for 1,500, 3,000 to rent their place. I already knew that. I already knew that. But for some reason, the spirit say, no, I'm going to give you a property. And sure enough, that's what the spirit did. I'm telling you guys. And all you guys need to have is these 5 paperworks. And I'm actually going to have to go on um, I'm actually going to have to read it off my phone because I still, all you guys gonna have to have is these 5 paperworks. These 5 paperworks is all you're gonna need. Okay. And I'm actually gonna go over the three main ones. The three main ones. Okay. Because the other two are I'm gonna go over all 5. I'm gonna go over all 5. Let's go over the first one. The first one is gonna be a handwritten letter. And this is as you guys know, I have a list of websites that you guys can buy from instantly right now. Instantly right now. You don't even need any of this. You everything I'm telling you, you won't even need. All you're gonna need is your money. Your 100, 200, 300, $500 down. Because what these sellers do is they buy land. They buy hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of acres of land. And then they buy it at a discount, and then they turn around and sell it retail. But the way they sell it retail and they're able to get their whole retail money is they sell it to us owner financing. They opt to sell it to us owner financing so they can get their full retail money. If they sold it cash, people wouldn't pay them as much as they want. But we don't care that we paying full price. We buying properties 100, $200, $300 down. We don't care that the property's worth 10,000 and you want 10,000. We don't care. Why would you care if you're buying this property, no credit, you have no credit? Not to say people don't have good credit, but you don't have to leverage your credit. You don't have to show W-2s. You don't have to show any. Let me tell you, you don't even have to show your ID. You don't even have to show your ID, okay, to the seller, okay? You're gonna show your ID to the notary because you're gonna get your paperwork notarized. But you virtually, even if you don't want to go through all of that, you don't even have to go through all of that because the people I deal with, they're very credible. So it's up to you, honestly, and up to them if you want to get your paperwork notarized. Do I recommend you get your paperwork notarized? Yes. But what I'm saying is, say you don't even have ID, you can still buy property. It's crazy. I'm telling you, it's crazy, but it's true. The first paper you guys need, and I'm gonna show this to my class. Well, I could show it to everybody. You guys are gonna need this. And this, what I'm showing you, is for when we are making offers to purchase a property. You don't need this if you're buying from the websites that I provide for you. All this is a letter that you are going to mail to the properties that you're interested in. If you find a property you're interested in, just like you would find a property you want to rent, just like you would find a property you want to buy. And I'm gonna tell you guys another thing. When the economy was real hot, and it's still hot, but the economy's been real hot since like 2017 and even prior, but mainly since 2017, people have been overbidding for property. So you might want to buy this house for 200,000. Somebody else could come in and give 210, offer 210. Okay? So what realtor has been having people do is having people to do this, write handwritten letters. Any of y'all ever experienced that? A realtor tell you to write the seller a handwritten letter, a heartfelt letter? All you're doing is the same thing. You're going to tell a seller, hey, whatever your situation is, if you want this property for your personal, hey, my name is so and so. I'm a doctor, I'm a nurse, I'm a cashier, I'm a contractor from so and so. I know you can get more for your property, but my family really needs this property. We've been looking for property and it's been such a struggle. Whatever it is, whatever your truth is, you're going to write it here. Okay. Now, if you're just buying this property as an investment, be honest, tell them, because that's what I do. You just write on here, hi, my name is so and so. I'm a real estate investor in the area. I will give you full market value for this property. I absolutely love this property. I would love to continue owning this property with love and care like you have. The enclosed is an offer on this property. The enclosed represents a total wealth accumulation to you of this property. And you put a number there, right? And you put thank you in advance, so and so, your name, your phone number, your address, your email, all that good stuff, right? It might be both. You might be buying this property for to live in and as an investment. You need somewhere to live right now. And then after you finish fixing it up, you're going to sell it. Tell them, hey, I'm looking for somewhere. I'm looking for this property. I want to live in it, but I also want to fix it up to sell it. Write it in there. All you're writing is a truthful, heartfelt letter. A truthful, heartfelt letter. And I'm going to show you guys how to find these properties. If they're not on the website that I provide, I'm going to show you guys how to find these properties. That's the first piece of paper you guys need. This is the first thing. The first contact, and you're going to write the property in question, address, the APN number. Okay. I'm going to teach you guys, if you get in my mastermind, I teach you guys the APN number, how to get the APN number. And whoever the property owner is, you put their name and all that good stuff, right? This is the first piece of property, the first piece of paper you need. Simple, simple. You're going to take this paper, you're going to put it in an envelope. You guys see how I'm showing you guys verbatim like babies. You're going to take this paper, put it in an envelope, put a stamp on it, and mail it. Does everybody know how to do that? I'm messing with you guys, but hey, it's some people you literally got to tell them this stuff. You literally got to tell them this stuff. Believe me. Believe me. I done had, see, I'm not computer literate. I'm telling you guys the truth. I tell you all the time, I'm not computer literate. I done had somebody tell me, oh, I thought you was gonna have us scan it and email it to them. No, we're gonna mail them a physical letter. I'm old school. If you want to scan something and email, that's on you. But see, you got to find these people emails. And if you guys want to do that route, I'll show you how to do that route too. I'll show you how to go to Been Verified, all these type of apps that you could find people up. But I'm old school. I'm I'm gonna show you guys how to go to the county, look up the owner of that property, get their address where they live. Sometimes they live across the street down the road, but sometimes they live in another state, another country, right? Matter of fact, the house I'm in, the house I live in right now, my buddy found this house, but the people lived in another country, a whole nother country. And they had to hunt them people down. So anyhow, long story short, that letter I just described to you, you write it by hand, just a simple letter. You put it in the envelope. You put your name, your address up here. You put their name and address down there where they live, not the property in question, where they live. Okay. Inside the letter, you put the address of the property in question that you want to buy. Okay. You done. You done with the first thing. You ain't had to have no credit. You ain't have to do nothing. And again, this is something you have to do just buying a regular house. Just buying a regular house, this might be something you have to do. Now, the second thing you're gonna need for this one, um, let me see where I have it. Yeah, I got one right here. I got one right here somewhere. For this one, and let me back up a little bit. You guys need some manila folders. Everybody need to go to Walmart, Staples, wherever, the thrift store, and get you some manila folders. Because when you have, let me pull this back out. When you have, let me get a brand new fresh one. Oh, I don't even have any in here. When you have your letter, you're gonna make a copy. Make a physical copy of the letter you sent them, because you need to know what you sent them when they call you back, because you might be writing different people different things. You might see a property and start talking about the property in your letter. Hey, I noticed you got a chicken coop. I noticed you got a garage. I noticed you got a well. I would love to have this property. I need that well. I need that chicken, whatever. You might write it in here. Make a physical copy of that letter and put it in a manila envelope. On your manila envelope, you put their name and the property in question. So when they call you, you could just boom, grab your manila envelope. Oh, Mr. So and so from this address. You open it up. You already know what you wrote them, because you might forget. You might forget, right? And again, I'm gonna show you guys how to find these properties. Baby, is some more tea in there or something? Hold on, y'all. Oh, all right. Now, y'all stop me if y'all need me to slow down. You're gonna do this 100 times, guys. I'm not gonna lie. But listen, when you're looking for a place to rent, when you're looking for a place to buy, you gotta find 100 properties anyway. Babe, when you was looking for a place, you you had to go probably about 20 houses, right? And apartments, right, before you found one. It's the same process. You still gotta go through a instead of you looking at 100 places to rent, why not look at 100 places to buy? It's the same energy. What happened is we don't believe. See, we know we could go rent a place, but we don't believe this is possible. Meanwhile, there's people sitting around with properties all around America. Y'all drive by these properties all the time. They abandoned, they look raggedy. Some of them are nice houses, but you like, dang, that house so nice. How come ain't no every time I go by that house, how come ain't nobody there? How come it's boarded up, a nice house like that? I'm telling you, people have money. I knew a dude, he abandoned a brand new house, abandoned it. He got so much money. We was trying to buy it. He would not sell it to us. All the neighbors, when we went down there in West Palm Beach, Florida, all the neighbors said they've been trying to buy it. They like the dude, he won't sell it. The house got dilapidated, the roof caved in, everything. Finally, he decided to sell it. And he wanted some ridiculous number. It was crazy. To this day, I don't even know if that dude sold it. But this dude was a gazillionaire. He had millions. He was building houses to flip and do whatever. But then he stopped because he had so much money. He stopped. This is not money that um I mean, he was not in the real estate business per se. He just had money that he had to move, right? I want to say he was some type of doctor or something. Oh, go ahead, Nadine. You wanted to say something? Okay. You want to say something, Nadine? Go ahead. Go ahead. I can't hear you. You got your mic. You got to unmute your mic. You talking kind of low. What? Oh, it's not you. It's me. My bad. It's not you. It's me. It's not you. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, okay. No problem. You got to go in 12 minutes. Okay. It's. Oh, okay. Okay. My bad. Oh, I see it. I see it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Hey guys, if this call in, I'm gonna put another link in the group, so y'all just click on the other link. Okay. Thank you. So anyhow, there's people out here that got money. Long story short, a lot of these properties they paid off, all that type of stuff. People got money. They got their own house. They got their own property. They don't care about them properties. They let them dilapidate. They don't even want to sell them. One of the reasons why they don't even care to sell them is they get a tax deduction just for holding these properties. They get it's more beneficial, and you guys could verify this. You have a lot of people, affluent people, doctors, lawyers, people make a lot of money. They buy up properties just for a tax deduction. They don't want to rent them out. They don't want to sell them. They just want a tax deduction. The government, the IRS, give them a tax deduction off their W 2. It's a way of paying less money on their W 2 income. Okay? It's a way of them combining their business side with their personal side, and it balance out to where it makes them pay less on their W 2 income. Okay? I'm telling you, nobody need to be renting, nobody need to be homeless once you guys realize we have a very abundant country. We have a very abundant life. The creator, if you believe in God, the creator balanced universe gave us everything. There's more food. Don't you guys know we only consume 10% of the food produced? I'm telling you. All the oranges, all the apples, all the food produced on the farm, by the time they pick up the crop, don't you ever look, if you drive by a farm, don't you ever notice there's still a lot of watermelons out there? There's still a lot of fruits, vegetables out there on the ground, oranges on the ground, apples on the ground, dying. You like, damn, why somebody don't just pick that up and go give it to the homeless or somebody? Half the crops get in the actual truck. Once it get to the distribution place, they picking out all the ones with blemishes and throwing them in the garbage. That's why when you're in the grocery store, you don't see any apples, oranges, anything with blemishes. So that's another half of that gone. Once it's in the grocery store, after 2, 3 days, a week, any blemishes, anything happen to these fruits, they got to throw. That's why you see the produce manager or worker in the produce section throwing everything in the garbage. You like, God, look at them just throwing food in the garbage. You go in the back of any food line, Kroger's, Publix, Winn-Dixie, you're gonna find so much food in the garbage. By the time you buy the food, you get it to your house. You only ate one orange, one pear, one banana. You throwing the rest in the garbage. You don't even have time to eat. We literally only consume 10% of what is produced. People talking about it ain't no food out here. It's a lot of food out here. I used to do it. I'm no lie. I used to go in the back of Save a Lot and Audi's and dumpster dive. I used to dumpster dive. I need to go back and do it now. It's fun. I found so much stuff, not just food, but so they they throw away so much stuff. It's crazy. My baby, like, ugh. They throw away so much stuff. It's crazy. Stuff you done paid, huh? Yeah. People is doing it so much at Walmart. Now they done put locks on the Walmart stuff, but little stores like Aldi, Save a Lot, little mom and pop stores, you could go in a dumpster. I'm gonna tell you a place. It's this GameStop. GameStop. Somebody put it out there. GameStop. They were selling video games for $100, and whatever a new game come out, they'll throw them old games out for cost $100. They'll throw them in the garbage. All them video games you buy your babies, you could go dumpster diving for free and buy the and get them video games at the back of GameStop dumpster. Amazon is accused and Walmart is accused of throwing away so much stuff. The federal government had to come in and tell Amazon and Walmart, you cannot throw away the stuff no more. You have to discount it and sell it. So that's why you have all these bin stores now. Amazon and Walmart, Target, all these big stores, they have all their returns. They can't, well, they still throw a lot of it in the garbage. A lot of it's still going to garbage. But a certain amount of it, they have to put it on a pallet and sell the pallets. The government not allowing them to write it off anymore. They used to just write it off and get that tax deduction as a loss. The government not allowing them to do it anymore. They have to take a certain amount of that stuff, put it on a pallet, and auction it off. And these bin stores buy it, and people buy it. Everything I'm wearing came from a bin store. I bought this for $3 at a bin store a few weeks ago, right, babe? Anyhow, back to what I was saying, huh? Okay, back to class now. Let me drink my tea. The second paper we need. I got it in my folder right here. I got everything in my folder right here. The second thing you need is an offer contract. An offer. Let me see. I might have to. And I'll show you guys how to write up your offers. Every property is going to have a different offer and a different structure. Every property is going to have a different offer and a different structure. That's why you need to separate them with your manila folders, because every property going to have a different offer and a different structure. Hold on, let me find one. I should have had this set up already for you guys. Let me find an offer letter. In your offer letter, you are gonna have to run your numbers, crunch your numbers, and I'll show you guys how to do this. And you are gonna have to plug in those numbers, and you can handwrite it or type it up. I've always handwritten stuff. My baby, the one that does all the typing now for me. But all you're gonna do is write up or type up a letter once they contact you. But you should already have this written up. So when they contact you, you once they contact you, you already know your offers you're gonna make. And you can actually send them the offer with your handwritten letter. If you want to do that, you could send them your offer with your handwritten letter at the same time. If not, you could wait till they contact you, then you read to them or take a picture and send to them your offer or email them your offer, right? This is an offer letter. This is an offer letter. If you get in my mastermind, you know how to write up an offer letter. See? It got the person's address and name up here, the property in question. Oh yeah, I know. And then it's got this is the offer right here, right? So basically, all you're doing, I got one, two, three, four offers, right? All you're doing is you're writing up an offer. Guess what? This the same thing you have to do when you purchase in a house. When you purchase in a house, they have the asking price. Okay? The seller has the asking price. The buyer always makes an offer. Sometimes the offer is less, sometimes the offer is more. Again, like I keep telling you guys, you're doing the same process as if you was buying or renting. You're doing the same process. Everything I'm telling you to do, your realtor is going to tell you to do if you was buying a house. Am I right, Nadine? Your realtor is going to tell you the same thing to do. I'm not telling you anything different than what you would do if you was renting or buying. Now, it's just going to be a little bit more complicated. That's all. Instead of writing down a number, you're going to write down a schedule payment, a payment schedule. Because again, we're buying these properties owner financing. Okay. So you're going to write a payment schedule. My first offer, and let me read you guys this thing. Okay. Regarding offer to property, to purchase property 392 ABC Farm Road, Rayford, Florida. Excuse me, Rayford, North Carolina 28376. Dear Mrs. McCoy, this letter constitutes a proposal to purchase the above named property. I have received the property and would like to provide the following offers. Huh? I have reviewed the property and would like to provide the following offers for your consideration. Okay, I got to do another one. Hang on YouTube because I have to do another yeah. All right, we back. All right. You gotta wait on Miriam. But anyhow, let me repeat what I was just saying. So I was reading the letter. I was reading the letter, right? I was reading the letter basically. This is an offer letter. This is the second thing you guys need. We on number two. That's it. One, two. We didn't run no credit. We didn't go to the bank. We didn't download our bank statements. We didn't run our credit. We didn't have to go get our paycheck stubs. We didn't have to fill out no application. That's another thing. Whenever you buy a house, you gotta fill out an application. That's another thing. Whenever you buy a house, whenever you rent an apartment, you gotta fill out an application. We ain't do none of that. We on paper number two. It's so simple, guys. This too easy. I keep telling you guys I cannot make it more easier for you guys. And it's even more easier if you buy from one of the websites, okay? But if not, I'm showing you guys the process, right? I'm gonna read the letter again. You put the date, November 3rd, 2023, the person's name, the property in question. See? The person's name, the property owner name, the property in question. I got it here. Regarding offer to purchase property at 922 ABC Farm Road, Rayford, North Carolina, 28376. Dear Mrs. McCoy, this letter constitutes a proposal to purchase the above named property. I have reviewed the property and would like to provide the following offers for your consideration. Following offers. Offer number one, right? You see, I got it there. See, let me see. Right here. Offer number one, offer number two, offer number three. See? And this is in a group, so you guys have this letter already. Sample letter. All you're gonna do is this. I'm gonna take my time with this part. Say the property, because and again, I gotta sit down with you to teach you guys this part. I can't teach this on YouTube. This is something you learn in class or one-on-one. All you gotta do is figure out what the property is valued at as it is. As it is. There's a few ways to do this. You can go to the county. The county's going to tell you the tax value. Okay? The tax value is what they value the property at in order to come up with a number to tax the property. The tax value, right? They can also give you the appraisal value. Sometimes they have it at the county, sometimes they don't. It depends on the last appraisal. Some counties don't do appraisals for 5 years. Some if a property owner or buyer didn't do an appraisal and file it with the county, you have to wait for the county to do the appraisal. If they have it, they have it. If they don't, they don't. You have to revert back to the tax value. And here's an example right here. I went to the county. They're going to give you a paper like this. You can go down to the county. You can go down to the county physically. Get in your car, get on the bus, get on your scooter, your bicycle, your skateboard. Huh? Right. Or you can go online. However you get there. Just get there if you can. The bottom line is you need this paperwork. You need this. I don't care how you get there. Download it online or go down to the county. My baby know how to do all this stuff online. I physically go down to the county. Again, I'm telling you guys the truth. I'm not one of them guys going to tell you you could sit at home and do this and all that type of. Sometimes you got to go down there to the county. Okay, I go down, I just go. Even when I get to the county, they tell me we can't, some of them tell you we can't do that. You got to go online. I say, ma'am, sir, can you show me how to do it online? Again, I'm not computer literate. And they'll show you. Some of them have the paper already sitting there. Here's a paper, just follow the steps. All right. Anyhow, you get this paper. You get it from the tax assessor. That's the specific department you're going to get this paper from, the tax assessor. Okay? Or the tax, anything say tax assessor or anything have to do with finances in the county, right? See this property, it got the number on it already, 29,000, 29,000. They didn't have the appraisal value. All they had was a tax value or assessed value. So I got to go off of this. This is the only number I got to go off of. I'm not going to sit there and wreck my brain trying to figure out how much a property is worth. You don't have to. All you got to do is get the number from the county. Half the time, the property owner don't know what the property worth anyway. And whatever you show them is what it is. Sometimes people think the property is worth all this money and you show them, no, it's only worth this. They're like, oh, okay. And sometimes they think it ain't worth nothing and you show them this. They're like, dang, I didn't know my property was worth that much. Whatever that number is, that's what it is. Now, once you have that, this is the official value. Once you have that, you have to go on some type of website like Zillow, Redfin. I use Zillow. Any type of website like that, and you're going to get the market value. It's three: tax value, assessor value, that a professional go out there and assess the property, and market value. Market value is what the market is willing to pay, what the market has paid or willing to pay. The way they get the market value, the way Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com get the market value is that when a property is sold in the area, Zillow automatically adjusts its numbers to similar properties in the area. and now, like for example, say you got 20 houses on this block or in this 1 mile radius, 20 or 100 houses, right? Whatever. One sold. Say all the houses are pretty much identical. They're all 3.2s. One sold for 250,000. Let's say 285,020 right? Now all the properties in that area are gonna be valued as that. Y'all follow? Now Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com is gonna automatically generate all the properties in that area to be worth the same thing. But everything in its proper content, meaning it's also going to adjust for square footage and lot size. It's also going to adjust for square footage and lot size. What that means is when that one house sell for whatever I said, 285,020, it's going to take that number. It's going to take the square footage. It's going to take the lot size. It's going to divide the square footage by that number. It might turn out to be $120 a square foot. It's going to take the lot size and divide by that number. It might be the same thing, $140 a square foot, right? Whatever that number is, they're going to add the square foot for the house, the square foot for the lot. They're going to add that together. Now they're going to say properties over here, say come up to $300 a square foot, right? Now they're going to say properties over here average $300 a square foot. Y'all follow? Now, the house next door, the house that sold was 2,000 square foot. The house next door is 1,900 square feet. Again, the house that sold is 2,000 square feet. The house next door is 1,900 square feet. The house across the street from that is 1,950. The house down the street is 1,925. The other house is 1,815. The other house is 1,620. It's all it's gonna do is take the 300 and multiply it by the square footage of that house, and multiply it by the square footage of that lot. It's gonna add the numbers together again. The computer automatically do all of this, and that is how Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com get you the market value. That's why when you get deeper into real estate, people are going to ask you, what's the comparables? What's the comparables? All they're asking you for is what property sold last in that area. And when they say area, they mean a relevant area within 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 miles radius, something relevant. That's all they're asking you for is a comparable. Okay. All it takes is one house. If you got all these houses, raggedy houses, ain't worth but 20,000. All of a sudden, somebody knows something is coming, so they pay 50,000 for this one raggedy house that's literally only worth 20,000. The only reason they paid 50,000 is because the owner refused to sell. So they gave the owner a ridiculous offer, and the owner said, "Damn, I'll take that." And they sold for 50,000. Now, all the raggedy houses in that neighborhood is going to be worth 50,000 more or less, depending on the square footage again. Y'all get that? It only take one. It only take one. All right. That's why somebody could come into a neighborhood, or they could build one house or a subdivision in the neighborhood, and it changed everything in that neighborhood. It changed everything in that neighborhood. It's called gentrification. Now, some people think gentrification is something white people do to black people. No, gentrification is just changing the dynamics. That's all it means. That's all it really means. It's just changing the dynamics, meaning it's going from black people gentrify. Black people used in the 70s, 80s. We would, even now, we'll go into an all-white neighborhood and start buying up the houses. That's called gentrification. We're changing the dynamics of the neighborhood. Now, instead of the neighborhood being mostly white, now it's mostly black. We gentrify the neighborhood. It goes both ways. It might be a bunch of Indians moving into the neighborhood. Now it's gentrifying towards the Indians, right? Gentrification is just when you change the dynamics. Dynamics meaning anything. It could be a bunch of gay people moving into the neighborhood. Oh, the gays gentrify the neighborhood. Gentrify. That one could either raise the property value or lower the property value. Raise it or lower it. Okay? It goes both ways. Back in the days, it used to take one black person to move into the neighborhood for all the white people want to move out because they're like, oh, the property value is going down. That's silly, but it's the truth. It's silly, but it's the truth. Anyhow, that is how they come up with the numbers. So now you got your assessed value and you got your market value. You guys follow me? And you do this even if you have your excuse me. You have your tax value. You have your tax value, right? On the paperwork you got from the county, whether you went down there on your skateboard, went online. And you have your market value. You have two. You do this even if you have a professional assessor value. you do this. You need all three values, right? All three values, right? You're gonna add all three up. Say the assessed value is 30,000. Excuse me. Say the tax value is 30,000. Somebody go in there and assess it, it's only worth 25,000. Or they say it's worth 35,000, whatever. The market says it's worth 12,000. Or the market might say it's worth 120,000, whatever. You take the three values, you add them all up, and you divide it by 3, because you obviously dealing with 3 numbers. You add them all up, you divide it by 3. That's gonna give you your base core number. Okay, that's gonna give you your base core number, right? That number is gonna be one of your offers. It's gonna be one of your offers. It might be offer 1, 2, or 3. If you get in my class, you'll figure out which offer to make it, right? That's going to be your one of your offers, right? Now, you're going to use that number to base your other offers. Okay? You're going to use that number to base your other offers. Babe, cut that heater up a little bit. I'm a little chilly. Yeah. It's this window. So, you're going to use that number to get your other numbers. What I mean by that, say we add the numbers up, we divide by 3, it came out to 42,000. This property is worth 42,000 average, right? Say we really, really want this property. We have our exit strategy. You get in my mastermind, I tell you about exit strategy. Your exit strategy is simply what you want to do with the property. That's all it is. Simply, what do you want to do with the property? You want to live in it? You want to live in it and fix it up? You want to flip it? You want to flip the paper? What do you want to do with the property? That's all your exit strategy is what do you want to do with the property? Once you know what you want to do with the property, you have your core number. You can figure out your lowest offer you can make on a property and your highest offer you can make on a property. Y'all follow? You got to figure out the lowest offer and the highest offer. You might know they're about to build a YMCA, a man-made pool, a stadium. You might know this. You might know somebody worked down there at the county and people been coming in there trying to figure out how they could build a stadium. So you trying to get in there and buy up everything over there before everybody else do. So you might not offer 42,000. You might offer 142,000. You might offer 82,000, right? Depending on how bad you want the property. You might not want the property that bad. You like, I'm gonna make an offer, but I don't care. They say I got the numbers at 42,000. I'm gonna offer them 20. It depends how bad you want it. That's on you. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That's on you. How bad you want it as an investment to flip it, or how bad you want it as somewhere to live. Follow? All right. Now, once you have your lowest, you say, this is gonna be my lowest value, this is gonna be my highest value. Based on how bad you want it or whatever you know about the area. Now you gotta make an honest decision with yourself. What can you afford? If this property don't make you no money, what can you afford? That's how you make your schedule. That's how you write up your schedule payments. Okay. You say, well, on this particular property, I really want it. I really need it. I know I could rent it out. My son, my daughter, my cousin coming from Mexico, Haiti, Jamaica. They're going to work. They're going to pay for it. I could make a max offer of this. When they come, they're gonna give me 2,000, or I know if I once I get on the contract, I know I could put it back on the market and, and rent it out real quick. Whatever your statistics that you run come up with is how you're gonna make your schedule. So this particular property, our first offer was 50,000. We wrote it up. The length of payment gonna be 162 payments. 162 payments. This is a first offer. We then you write payment breakdown. Okay. Then you write the payment breakdown. Y'all see payment breakdown? Then you write the payment breakdown. You got the total, you're gonna pay 50,000. You got the length of payment, 162 payments. Now you're gonna break it down. You could also put the interest in there if you want. I typically don't put interest in there, but you can put interest in there. Again, it all depends on how you want to write this up. We put the first 24 months, we're gonna give you $200 a month. The first 22 months, that's gonna equal 4,200, which will act as a down payment. This is how you get away with getting in a property without any money, no money. After which we will be placed on deed. So your first 24 months, because this was going to be a investment property, not something for us to live in. So we didn't care about living on a property. So we boldly told them, we're going to give you the down payment, but it's going to take 24 months. After the 24 months, we could basically close, which is going on deed. Now, the next 24 months, we're going to still give you $200 a month, right? The reason we did that is we still need to pay $200 a month because we need capital to fix the property up. You can't be paying an exuberant amount of money monthly when you need money to fix the property up, right? And this is what you'll explain to the sellers. You'll explain this to them because they'll be like, why you only giving me 200 a month? Well, this property's run down. You guys haven't been really keeping up with it. So I have to fix it up. I just need you guys to work with me a little bit and allow me to give you these 200 a month while I use the rest of my capital, the rest of my budget um to baby, give me some of that stuff so I could put on my hand. Yeah. Give me some of that stuff you made. My hand ashy. So you basically gonna tell them, you know, if you guys allow me to, I'm gonna pay you another 200 a month for another 24 months. And that's how you justify it. I need time to be able to fix the property up. A lot of people are going to go for it, no problem. They know, they get it. They've been having a property 5, 10, 15, 20 years, 2, 3 years, ain't did nothing to it. You coming in and just the mere thought of offering to fix the property up is making them happy, right? Now, you let them know once I fix the property up and I'm generating income, I could pay you more. So now you got the next 114 payments at $350. That's what I got it up here, which will total 39,000. And then boom, the final payment 500. Right? The next offer we made was for 60,000. 60,000. Let the payments $216. Payment breakdown 24 months, 200 a month. Uh Now, the reason why we offered more was because we obviously wanted the property. So obviously, the more you're willing to pay for a property, the more a person is willing to sell you the property. So It's okay. You can offer more on a property. But you say, well, dang, Dragon, if I offer more on a property, then I got to pay them more per month. No, not necessarily. What you do is that you extend a month. So now the first offer was 162 months. This next offer, we giving you 60,000, but it's going to be for 216 months. You get it? All you're doing is you're extending the months. And all you're telling them is, look, instead of me paying you for the next 12, 13 years, I'm going to be paying you for the next 15 years. And they like, dang, I'm going to be getting money from you for 15 years? Sign me up. And you tell them, hey, instead of me giving you money for 10, 12 years, I can give you money for 15 years. You guys follow? And the number is basically the same. First 24 months, 200 a month, next 24 months, 200 a month, next 114 months, 300 a month, next 40 months, 400 a month, final month 200. Then we made another offer, $70,000 for 238 months. So now we letting them basically know, hey, we don't even mind paying you $70,000. We don't mind. But you got to let us pay you for the next whatever 238 months is, 17 years, whatever. Plug the same numbers in, just add more months. And the next offer we offered was $80,000 if they allowed us to pay them for 269 months, which again is in their benefit. They'll be getting money from us for whatever that is, 20 months. 20 years. Let me see. 269 months divided by 12 is 22 years. Say, hey, we owe you for 22 years. You be pimping us for 22 years. Now, again, this is just an example. This is just an example. You plug in whatever you want to plug in. The seller might be savvy, what we call savvy, or just catch on quick. And they say, okay, I'm going to counter that. I talked to my husband, boyfriend, sister, wife, cousin, nephew, daughter, who's a realtor. And they said, well, how about this? I agree with all of this, but you got to pay me off in 3 years. I need a balloon. Fine. Write it up. However you're going to write it up. But just know after 3 years, you need to pay them off. Now, Dragon, how the hell I'm going to pay them off in 3 years? How the hell I'm paying them $200 a month for 3 years, which is only whatever, 10,000 or whatever. Now I got to come up with $40,000 cash in 3 years. How the hell I'm going to do that? Guys, even though you're doing this, your whole mentality should be fixing your life, should be fixing your credit, fixing up the property to gain income. By fixing your credit, guess what you could do? Refinance the property to a bank. The bank is going to give you the cash and pay them off. By you fixing up the property, guess what? You can sell the property. You got to work on one or the other or both. Fix your credit. Actually, if you fix your credit, you're going to get a signature loan if the property's still raggedy. If you fix your credit and the house, you're going to get a loan on the property itself, or you can sell the property. Either way, you'll have them paid off in 3 years and you'll have money in your pocket. Huh? You'll have money in your pocket. Make sense? So if it makes sense to get them a balloon payment in 3 years, do it. Do it. If it doesn't make sense for you, like, well, I'm working on 5 projects. By the time I get to this one, it'll be 3 years. Then tell them, listen, I'm an investor. Like I said, I'm working on other properties. By the time I get to you, it'll be 3 years. By the time I get to rehab this property, it'll be 3 years. How about we make it 5 years, 6 years, 4 years? You guys get it? In other words, this here, you do whatever you want with it. All you're doing is sitting there, and again, you write this up. When you write this up, by now you should have in your folder, you should have your letter, your personal letter. Where my letters at? By now you should have in your folder your personal letter, I put that in my folder, and your offer letter. Okay, these are the two main things. Now, I did tell you guys you got to go down to the county and get your numbers. So you should have this paper also in your folder. So now you should have 3 type of contracts in your folder. This contract with the property information on it from the tax county office. You should have your offer letter that you typed up before the people even call you, and you should have already sent out your handwritten letter. If you're that lazy, or if you like me and sometimes your hand don't work right, you got to type it up. But I handwrite mines. I do couple, every now and then. So I always have them on me. I always have them on me. I have all of these on me at all times. I just have to write the address and the number in, the offer number, the maximum. When you send this letter out, you want to write the maximum offer. So they be like, dang, babe, somebody want to offer us this on this house. It's crazy. And again, like I tell my students, you could offer 3 times what the property's worth. You're like, damn, why the hell would I offer 3 times what the property's worth? When you have a 30-year mortgage, you're paying 3, 4, 5 times what the property's worth anyway. So if this person is allowing you to give you owner financing for 30 years, pay them what you would pay the bank anyway. You're going to pay to the bank anyway. But the only difference is you're going to write it up in a way that if you pay it off early, you obviously get a discount. Right? If you pay it off early, you obviously get a discount. Or they might say, hey, I don't want you to pay it off early. I want to get these payments from you for 30 years. And to you, it's worth it. So you write it up in a way that you might have a prepayment penalty. That's what the bank do. Sometimes you pay off your mortgage early, they give you a prepayment penalty. Yes, they will penalize you for giving them money. Why? They don't want that money. They want to keep you enslaved for 30 years. Am I right, Nadine? So it is what it is. So the 2 main papers you should have is, again, and I keep repeating because it's that simple, your handwritten letter that I explained already, and your uh, offer letter. All right, your handwritten letter and your offer letter. Your offer letter, again, you can keep it to yourself, or you could send the offer letter with the handwritten letter at the same time. It's up to you. It's entirely up to you how you feel, what your spirit tell you to do. Personally, it's what my spirit tell me to do. If I somebody's calling me. If I have a property that I'm really interested in, and I think sending them the offer letter might turn them off, I just send them the handwritten letter. If I have a property that I think sending them the offer letter will turn them on, I send them both. It's or you might send a handwritten letter the first time and you don't hear nothing from them for a month. Send them the offer letter. If you don't hear from them in a month, now send them the offer letter. Let them know what you're talking about. Okay? Now if you don't hear from them, you send them a gift card. If again, this is if you really really want the property. It's the holidays, people ain't got no money. You send them a gift card for $5, $10, especially if you know the person live at this house for real, especially if you actually spoke to them on the phone, especially if you actually know them. Send them a gift card for $5, $10, $20, $25. If you don't really know if the person is alive or dead or exists, but you really want the property, send it for $5. That little gesture goes a long way. They know you serious. You the only one doing this. Most people don't teach this. Most people don't do this. I'm telling you, it works. I've done it. It's worked. I'm telling you. On top of you offering them full value, on top of you showing you a real human, you sending them 5, 10, $20. On top of all of this you're doing, it's going to take a real jerk or a-hole to not want to do business with you. The property already sitting, it's not making any money, it's dilapidating. They have nothing to lose. Even if they don't get back to you that year, guys, keep the folder. This might be somebody calling you next year. This might be somebody calling you 2, 3 years down the road, 10 years. Hey, man, you sent me this letter 10 years ago. You still buying properties? You like, damn. Keep the folder. You are now a real estate investor. You need to have a folder. You need to have a briefcase or a what they call a file cabinet with these folders. You are a real estate investor. Once you guys buy your first property, you set up, your home is set up. Everything after that is an investment. Everything after that is an investment. Okay. Everything after that is an investment. So you're not really concerned about anywhere to live, but if you want to stay in the business, and some people only want me to teach them so they buy their first property, they don't care about the business. But if you want to stay in the business, you keep all your folders forever, forever and ever and ever. You might go back 30 years. Your offsprings, you might pass away. Your offsprings go in your folders and see all these paperwork, all these files. If you teach your offsprings will come behind you and go dig up these properties. And you got all the information already there. You don't put them ahead of the game. All the information already there. They just have to readjust the numbers. The information already there. It might be a different owner. Now they just have to find the owner, but the structure, everything is already there. All right. Now, the third paper you're going to need, okay, is a purchase contract. If everything go right with the letter, with the offer, now you're ready to actually purchase the property. The seller agrees, you agree, you're going to have a purchase contract. Okay? All a purchase contract is, hold on, let me put my stuff back in here. All a purchase contract is seller agrees to sell, buyer agrees to buy. I don't care if it's a 1 page letter or a 30-page letter. Usually when you're dealing with realtors, they have you sign like 10, 20, 30 pages. But if you're just dealing with it's just you and the seller, it's going to be like 1 page. 1 or 2 pages. All it's going to say is seller agrees to sell, buyer agrees to buy. Basically. Now, you can either write it up yourself or you can go to the attorney. Normally, I go to the attorney. I give the attorney whatever scribble scrabble or whatever we got on paper that me and the seller agreed to. The attorney is going to charge about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, no more than 3, 4, 500 dollars to write up the purchase. Really, it's free. Really, it's free. They'll even give it to you to go sign, right? It's really free. What you're really paying for is what comes after that, which is going to be the promissory note, right? So the purchase contract is really free, but some attorneys may tell you you got to pay for it. They're not really charging you for the purchase contract, they're charging you to do the deal. So you go ahead and pay for it. When you really learn this business, you'll learn how to do your own purchase contracts. If you're in my class, I'll teach you how to do your purchase contracts. Okay? It's real simple, real easy. All it's basically saying, whether it's 10 pages, 1 page, 30 page, is you agree to buy, the seller agrees to sell, and everything y'all agreed on when y'all was talking. That's all it is. Y'all agreed to 6%. Y'all agreed to owner finances, this amount of money in this amount of time. That's all it is. That's all it is. Okay. Once the seller agrees to sell, the buyer agrees to buy, y'all both sign it. Now the property's yours. It's yours. Can nobody come in and buy it behind you? If the seller sell it behind you, you could take them to court. The judge will award you the property or still allow you to buy the property, all that good stuff, right? They have to sell you the property, but in return, you have to buy the property. The only way you get out that contract is if the seller lets you out the contract, and the only way the seller get out of the contract is if you let them out the contract. You don't want to buy anymore. So each of you have to let each other out the contract if somebody don't want to be in a contract anymore. Make sense? And a lot of times you have to give some money up, which is okay. You got to give them $50, $100, $1,000. If they're savvy or they got a little bit of sense, they talk to their uncle, brother, cousin, nephew. You got to get them some due diligence money. And again, in my mastermind, I go over due diligence, right? So once you have your purchase contract, which let me find one here. Once you have your purchase contract, and again, it's just simply buyer agrees to buy, seller agrees to sell. Here's my purchase contract. Just cover up my name. So you say purchase. So you say purchase contract. This is your third piece of paper that you need. We on 3 papers, guys. Our third paper. And all it says is this contract made and entered into this day of August 5th, 2024 whatever, by and between John Doe and Mary Sue, authorized buyer, whatever, however you want to say it. Now, it's going to say that seller hereby contract to sell and convey to buyer hereby contracts to purchase from seller the following described lot property hereafter referred to as the lot, to wit. This is all legal jargon. You guys don't necessarily have to know this stuff verbatim. Again, you find a lawyer, they're going to do all of this for you until you really get proficient in real estate and you can do it for yourself. Otherwise, don't worry about it. The lawyer does all of this for you. Again, this is all if we're finding our own properties. If you buy from the websites I provide, you don't even have to go through any of this stuff. All right. All you need is your money, your debit card, you're good to go. These sellers already have all this paperwork set up. They email it to you, you sign it all, you're good to go. Being all of lot, and then put the lot number in subdivision, known as whatever, if it's a subdivision. Um, Basically, got the property information, your information, seller information, the deed number, the property parcel number. It's going to have a breakdown of what you guys agreed on. See it say that the agreed upon price is so and so, and payments of so, down payment so and so. That's all this is. This is called a purchase contract. Okay? Simple. Can't make this no simpler. Purchase contract. Okay? And again, you're locked in, you're good, you're done. Now all you have to do is write up a promissory note. Again, the attorney's going to write up the promissory note. It's going to cost anywhere from $300, $400 or $500 on average. It might get up to $900, but on average, $300, $400, $500. Again, if the seller agreed to not getting any money up front, or agreed to getting the money, the down payment money over time, or just agreed for you to start making payments, all you're coming into this deal with is what you have to pay the attorney. That's all you're coming into this deal with. Okay, and once you learn how to do all this stuff yourself, you won't necessarily need an attorney all the time, but I always recommend an attorney. Now, once you got your promissory note, all your promissory note is going to have is the schedule payments. A promissory note is a mortgage. It's a mortgage. And we're done. We bought a property. We done. That's it. Class over. That's it, guys. You're done. You did not need no verification of rent, no credit check, no verification of W-2 pay stubs, no bank statements, nothing. You are done. Once you sign your promissory note, you are done. The only thing comes after that is signing your deed. Signing your deed. You sign your deed. Again, whatever you guys agree on, you guys agree on signing the deed right away. They want to deed it over to you right away. They want to deed it over to you in a year. They want to deed it over to you in 10 years when you finish paying for it. The property can be deeded to you at any time. When you guys get into real estate, you'll realize The note, the mortgage, the promissory note is completely separate from the deed. These are two different things. Okay? Two different things. Matter of fact, you can have one person on the deed, excuse me, you can have one person on a mortgage or promissory note and somebody completely different on the deed. Again, in my mastermind, we explain all of this. All right. The one thing I'm leaving out that I said I was going to talk about, but I'm going to leave it for next class, is the trust. So I'm going to leave it out. I'm going to leave it for next class. You're not going to buy the property. Don't want to buy the property in your name. And I recommend do not buy the property in your name. Don't even buy it in an LLC. We buy properties in a trust. We buy properties in a trust. All right. And I'm going to explain that to you. But buying it in a trust have nothing to do with the process we just talked about. The process we just talked about is the hardest part. That is the hardest part. Once you got all of that down, a trust, signing your deed, everything else, easy peasy. Easy peasy. All right. I just want you guys to get in the mindset that you're doing the same. You have this, you're having the same belief as if you was looking for somewhere to rent. If you was looking for somewhere to rent, you're having the same belief. Hey guys, I'm looking for somewhere to rent. You calling mother, father, sister, brother, cousin, auntie. You're looking on Craigslist, Zillow, the same thing. You looking at every apartment building. Anybody got anything to rent? It's the same thing. You're looking at somewhere to buy now. If you was looking for somewhere to buy, you're looking more or less. You're looking for somewhere financeable. Financeable, meaning a bank will finance it. But again, when you buying a property and the bank is putting up their 100, 200, 300,000, I don't care if it's 10, 20,000. Normally it's 100,000 or more. When a bank putting up that money, you gotta do everything from your credit to pay for your own appraisal and inspection. It's crazy. And imagine if you got to do this to 3 properties, 4 or 5 properties. Imagine if you get to closing and the bank done ran your credit again and said, we're not going to wire the money. Your credit just dropped 20 points because you brought that furniture that you about to put in your house. That's why they say before you close, don't buy anything. Don't have your credit ran for any reason. It might not even be you. It might be the housing place you live in. It might be a car you brought, you was about to buy last year. It might be somebody just running your credit that you didn't even authorize. Now you can't close on your house. It's crazy. I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's crazy when you're trying to buy a house. People that do this don't go to banks. They don't go to banks. I'm going to tell you who go to banks. The only people that go to banks are, and I hate to say this, but it's true. The only people that go to banks to buy property is ignorant people. And all ignorance is you don't know no better. You don't know no better. You don't know this process. Going to a bank to purchase property is actually the worst thing you can do. It's one of the worst things you could do. It's more beneficial to go through the headache of finding somebody that's willing to owner finance you on your terms, as long as you're giving them the money they want. It's worth, the headache is less. If you're gonna go through a headache, it's better to go through this headache of looking for somebody like this than going through the headache of trying to buy conventionally. Trying to buy conventionally, trying to rent conventionally to me is a bigger headache. It's a bigger, I can't even imagine if I was looking for somewhere to rent, the headache it would cost me. If I literally, guys, if I literally had to start all over again right now, if I literally had to to start over again right now, all I would do is go on these websites that I provide to you. All I would do is go on Zillow, look at everything in an area I want to be in. All I would do is go to the county and find everybody that has not paid their taxes in the past 1, 2, 3 years. That's all I would do. Write these letters up. If I can't find anything on the websites from somebody that already does owner financing for a business, all I would do is go, like I said, on Zillow, go to the county, the area I want to be in, everybody that hasn't paid their taxes, and also even just if it's a particular house I see I want, a particular area I want to be in, I would write a letter to all these people and ask them would they owner finance you. Out of 100 people, I guarantee you one person gonna say yes. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. One person gonna say yes. I'm telling you, what it is our minds have to be reprogrammed. That's all it is. We have been programmed to rent, and we have been programmed to buy using credit and the bank's money. Once you explain to people that me making you payments is going to give you all of this money as a um what they call it, passive income, cuz to the purchase, to the seller, this is passive income for them. Passive income is taxed less than W2 income. All right? So once you explain all of this to them that hey, this is going to be considered passive income, you're basically collecting passive income. Once you explain to them that if they was to sell the house right away, conventionally, they probably get hit with a 39-40% tax bill. They're going to have to pay capital gains taxes on that money, especially if they only own the property less than 2 years. Once you explain certain things to them that I explained to you in my mastermind class, to those of you watching on YouTube, once you explain certain things to people, they realize, hey, this is probably a good thing to do. If this person don't pay us, all we got to do is default. All they have to do is default on you and they get the property back. All right. All they got to do is collect money from you. Once you explain that to them, I'm telling you, out of 100 people, one of them gonna say, yes, I want to do this. I'm telling you guys, stop renting. Get on the ball. Write your letters up. Write your letters up. Have them already. Just everybody should have 100 of these written up. If you got offsprings, auntie, cousin, sister, brother, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, you need to have them writing up these letters to you. Again, if you're just that lazy, you don't want to write them up, just type them up. But I recommend you handwrite them. It's more personable, what we call personable. You got to think. And you'll start getting these letters from people that want to buy from you once you're a property owner. They're gonna be sending all these letters. We buy houses, I buy houses. Y'all seen all the signs. That stuff is annoying. You throw them in the garbage. But if you see a handwritten letter from somebody, like, dang, who's this? Do I know this person? You're gonna read it. You're gonna read it, and it's gonna be embedded in your brain. Especially if you put hearts on it, you're a woman, you put little hearts on it, and then be like, who's this? Who I got a secret crush? Let me read this. Put a dollar bill in there, like a real dollar bill. These other people, they send you fake dollar bills or fake checks. Put a real dollar bill in there. Do creative stuff like that. People gonna remember you. Send a real $5. They'll be like, dang, thank you. They'll just call you to thank you. Hey, you didn't have to send me $5. I'm not selling my property right now. I wouldn't do this. But you know what? If I ever did sell, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you. This is the way we have to think, guys. This is the way we have to think. Stop thinking about renting. You have to put yourself in a mindset like, what if you couldn't rent? What if we was living back in the 1840s, 1500s, where you just had to go get your own land? It wasn't no such thing as renting. If you rented, you was called an indentured servant. What if we live in a society where you can't even have where we're going, credit is not even available. They wanted to make it so people don't even have credit. You have to put yourself in a mindset that only way you're going to get property is talking to the actual seller, the actual property owner, and making a deal with them. You got to get yourself in that mindset that only way I'm going to get properties is finding the actual sellers, the actual property owners, and making a deal with them. Get yourself in that mindset. When you do this, it becomes easier. It's the same thing you're doing when you rent. You find somebody renting something, you be begging them. Hi, sir. You be on your best behavior. Hi, sir. Hi, ma'am. I saw you was renting a property. Um, can I come look at it? Be on your best behavior when you talk to these sellers. Hi, sir. Hi, ma'am. Um, I saw you might be potentially wanting to sell your property. I looked at it, or can I come look at it and make you an offer? Be nice. It's the same process. But instead of being nice and begging people to rent to you, you're being nice and begging people to sell to you. When you go to the bank, you're begging the bank to give you a loan. People be like, I don't want to beg nobody to sell me their house. You begging somebody to rent you a house. You begging somebody to put up a, you be calling up your realtor, your bank. Please, please, please. You be calling up landlords, please, please, please. Ain't no shame. Ain't no shame. When you talk to people, say, please, can you owner finance this for me? I really need this house. Look at these people as banks. Once you start looking at people as banks, oh, this ain't no seller. This is Bank of America. Treat them the same way you would treat the bank. Now, to my students, what's your questions? Miss Miriam, Miss Nadine, what's your questions? Hold on. My bad. Hold on. My bad. Hold on. Okay, go ahead. Too easy. Too easy. What what you want to do is something comfortable for you. Some people not comfortable being landlords. Some people not comfortable um renovating. Some people are rehabbing the property. Whatever you comfortable doing, like I know people that they renovate properties all day and night, but they will not sell it. They call a realtor to sell the property for them, or a property management company rent it out for them. Some people they don't want to pick up a hammer. They want somebody to rehab, fix the property up, and then they're going to sell the property themselves or rent it out themselves. Some people don't deal with property management companies. And then some people they don't want to do none of that. They want to turn their property into some type of vacation place like Airbnb, or some place where people can park, RV rent, someplace. They have this thing now called Vanly where people can rent your parking, your driveway, rent your driveway. They traveling, they visiting a neighbor two doors down. You have an empty driveway. They want to park their RV or their vehicle in your driveway. You could grow food. You can use your property as storage. People want to store whatever on your property. There's a lot of ways to make money on your property. You can rent rooms in the house. You can rent rooms, excuse me, beds. You can rent beds. It all depends on the property. If you live in a major metropolitan, I recommend you rent rooms and beds. If you, it don't even have to be downtown, meaning as long as you within an hour of a major metropolitan, you an hour within, I recommend you rent rooms and beds, right? Airbnb, all that stuff. If you outside of an hour of a major metropolitan, I recommend Airbnb and some type of agricultural farming, um, selling the food that you farm, something like that, or even regular traditional renting is what I recommend. Um, but within an hour of any metropolitan, you can maximize your money by renting out the rooms and beds, turning them into rooming houses. I always strongly recommend that. I do not recommend doing regular rentals in a major you are losing so much money when you rent out your house regular. Then you got to deal with these people that don't pay you rent. Whereas if you renting out rooms and beds, you got three rooms, two of them gonna pay you rent, one might not. You still good, you know. Um, even if one pay you the rent, you still good, because you always want to make it so one person's actually paying everything, the other two is your profit. Whatever the other two give you, that's profit. If you renting beds, you got six beds in there, three of them paying the house and utilities. The other three, that's your profit. You know, if you um do it this way, another thing is that people snitch on each other. Always have a snitch. Always have somebody in there that's gonna. You just know this person is a snitch. You just know, even if they don't pay you rent on time, they snitching on everybody in the house. Always have a. I learned that. I learned that. I learned that. I I had a snitch, and I say, you know what? Every time I rent like this, I'ma always have a snitch. They're gonna tell you everything everybody doing bad in their house. Everything everybody doing bad in their house. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Somebody break the toilet. So and so just broke the toilet. They're gonna tell you, you don't allow smoking. They're gonna tell you people smoking, people sneaking people in the house, all that type of stuff. And a lot of us, I've been in that situation where I was in a room in the house. I was renting a room, and I knew the landlord was making a shitload of money. I know the landlord was making a shitload of money, but when you in transition, when you transitioning, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Yeah. But I strongly recommend within an hour of any major metropolitan, you rent by the rooms. When you get outside the metropolitan, you rent the land. So you can put cabins on the property. That's a big thing right now. You can turn it into a RV place, camping place, agricultural place where you grow food, sell it, all that type of stuff. I don't know if that answers your question. Yeah. hmm Easy. It's this stuff is really easy. I'm telling you, the hardest part, which is not hard, is just finding the sellers. But it's not hard when you compare it to what you have to deal with if you was buying a house and what you had to deal with if you was renting a house. It's the same difficulty. It's the same difficulty. I remember one time I was looking for a place to rent. To rent, it took me like a month to rent. And when I was looking for a house to buy, it was taking like 6 months, 6, 7 months. I actually never found anywhere. I actually never found anywhere. I couldn't, it was some type of holdup. It was either we didn't find a house that qualified or we didn't qualify. And so I ended up renting for 15, 20 years. You see what I'm saying? Whereas if I knew this, I would have had a place in no time. Even you, Miss Nadine, like we found you a couple places already. You know what I'm saying? So you see how easy it is. It's not hard. It's not hard. Is it a little bit of work? Yes. Do you have to put a little bit of work into fixing up these properties? Yes. Yes. But when you look at what you have to deal with this way and the benefits, if you look at the pros and cons of doing it this way versus the pros and cons of renting, the pros and cons of buying conventionally, this is less headache. This is actually way less headache. But let me tell you what happened. We are comfortable and lazy. We want to just move in, park our stuff, and go to work and pay for it. We don't want to fix no toilets. We don't want to paint. We don't want to do anything. But now it's crazy because we would rather stress ourselves trying to save money, stress ourselves. We rather go through that headache of stressing ourselves trying to save money, stress ourselves trying to fix our credit, rather than learn how to fix a toilet, learn how to paint, learn how to put up some drywall, learn how to change your electrical sockets, learn how to put on some shingles on a roof, learn how to put some siding on the, you know what I'm saying? Either way, you're gonna have to, it's either way, it's gonna be something you have to do. You're gonna have to maintain or fix your credit, save money, or fix the property. You're gonna have to do something. You're gonna have to do something. Some people say, hey, I'd rather fix my credit, I'd rather maintain my credit. I don't want to turn any screwdrivers. I don't want to fix any credit. Fine. I don't mind going through the scrutiny of sending in my bank statements, sending in my verification of rent. Some people don't mind. Fine. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to people that don't mind fixing up properties a little bit, don't mind doing a little physical work, and don't mind begging a seller. You begging a bank, you begging the landlord. When I call up a seller, I'm straight up begging. Hi, sir. Hi, ma'am. I know this is going to sound crazy, but can you please consider it? I'm interested in your property at so and so and so. Would you consider owner financing it to me? It's the same thing you do when you call a bank. Hi, sir. Hi, ma'am. I want to buy this property. I'm not sure my credit. Can you check it? Oh, you don't qualify. You need a 650. You got a 620. Please, can you please? Okay, go through. Just look at. I always pay my. You know what? That shouldn't be on there. You know what? I'll call you back. Then you call up your Equifax TransUnion. You begging them. Take you writing a letter. You writing a handwritten letter. Take this off my credit. I don't know who you doing the same process right now. I'm being told I need to write all these letters to the credit card company. I still have, I mean, to the Equifax and TransUnion. I still haven't done it. I'm telling you guys on video, on record, the worldwide world, I have bad credit. All I owe is $2,000. I have bad credit. I'm telling you guys. And it's my fault. This is my fault. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not no victim. This is my fault. But I don't care, which is kind of bad because I should care. You need credit because of I know how to buy properties. Let me tell you why you need credit. Because the situation I'm in right now, I have properties that I can buy, but because of my credit situation, that's holding me back. Excuse me, not buy, but rehab, fix up. You want to have credit so you can have the money, the credit line to fix up your properties and some buy some because some of them they do require a little bit of a down payment, 3, 4, $5,000. The average person does not have 2, 3, 4, $5,000. Keep it real. So that's why you need to have credit. But in general, if you just want a humble little abode, a nice little property that you never have to pay rent, you don't have to go beg the bank. I'm telling you guys, this is the way to go. This is the way to go. Once you do this, you put your nice little single wide, double wide cabin, RV, build you a house little by little on your property. You will be you'll be like me, baffled why you was paying rent 5, 10, 15 years. You would be so completely baffled. But I'm telling you. And see, the reason why this works is you do this is why I always tell you guys, you do everything through your lawyer, through a closing company. People think it's expensive. It's not, it's cheap. 3, 4, $500. The lawyer will go through all the paperwork for you, fix up all your paperwork. Everybody signs. You do not have to actually have the official closing right then. Long as everything is done through the closing company, what happens is the attorney will keep the deed. Once you finish paying off the property or paid up to a certain amount of the property, the attorney will follow the instructions and release the deed to you. Whatever instructions you give the attorney, the seller, you and the seller say, hey, this buyer won't get the deed until they paid up this amount or they paid it off. Then you release the deed to this person. Then the attorney releases the deed. Okay. If the attorney died, they close the closing company. Now the county takes over all the paperwork for the attorney. You simply go to the county will sign over the deed to you. If your seller dies, same process. Your seller dies. People have that question. Your seller dies. All your seller gonna do, excuse me, all the county's gonna do is say, okay, sir, ma'am, do you have your paperwork? You show them all your paperwork. The seller died. Okay, we're gonna take over your transaction you had with the seller, and you're gonna make payments to us now, the county, or we're gonna find the heir of this property. If we, what the county do is they put a what the county do they put a letter. They put the person's name in the newspaper. They find the next of kin. Nobody comes up. Now the county owns the property. By the county owning the property, now you pay the county off. Once you pay the county off, you get the property. That's how that goes. That's how that goes. Yeah. But I'm telling you guys, it's as simple as that. So those of you in my class, I've been giving you guys this assignment. You have homework. You've been having your assignments. Make sure you guys been doing it. Make sure you call me, contact me when you get stuck. That's what I'm here for. Those of you want to get in my mastermind, this is how we do. This is how I do. This is how I explain everything. I'm with you in the trenches. I'm doing this too. I'm literally doing this too. I'm not a guy selling books and tapes. I have no books to sell you. I have no tapes to sell you. So I'm literally teaching you live. I have no books to send you. I have no videos for you to watch. All you're going to watch is replays of the mastermind. I have nothing set up like that. So all you get is me, raw in the flesh. So I'm with you the whole way. All right. Won't you guys say it's worth it in my mastermind? Miss Miriam, Miss Nadine, won't you guys say it's worth it? Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys learning? Huh? You're learning? So I'm this is the first Sunday. We're gonna try to do it again next Sunday, and as usual Tuesday. You took your notes? You took your notes? Good. Taking notes. And again, I'm here in the trenches. I don't mind repeat myself a million times. You guys get stuck. I don't mind because I already know. I already know when these gurus sell you books and tapes. All you're gonna do is throw it in the garbage. I brought Robert Kiyosaki book 20 years ago. None of this became relevant to me until I started doing it myself. I didn't know what I was reading, what I was looking at. I threw it down. You need somebody to hold your hand. That's what I realized. That is what I realized. So that's why in my mastermind, I hold your hand. I hold your hand. You need somebody to hold your hand. And Miss Nadine to tell you, I help you find your properties. You're not finding your properties by yourself, right, Miss Nadine? I'm helping you guys find your properties. I'm helping you find your property. You have no excuse with me. You have no excuse. I'm helping you guys find all my students. I'm sending them deals. Look at this one. Look at that one. Look at this one. Look at that one. I'm talking to the sellers with you. I'm literally in the trenches with you. You are not doing this by yourself. Reason why is when I started doing this, I was doing this all by myself. I had nobody, but the Spirit of God guiding me, and I listened to the Spirit, and it led me, and I followed it, and it happened for me. I know most people they don't have that push, so I'm here to push you. I'm here to guide you. I'm here to keep you from wasting another 5, 10, 20 years renting. Miss Nadine, by the end of the year, we're gonna have you in a house that you'll never lose, a property you never lose. Miss Miriam, same thing for you. Because again, I tell you guys the truth. If you expect to do this and in a month make $5,000, $10,000 like these gurus tell you, or you're gonna find a property instantly, it's not true. They're lying. It takes work. It takes a little bit of work. But as you can see, it's kind of easy. It's the same process if you was looking for a place to rent or looking for a place to buy. It takes a month to 6 months. It takes a month to 6 months. Matter of fact, you might say, "Oh, I'll find a place to rent tomorrow." Nine times out of 10, if you jump into a place to rent that quick, it's not somewhere you want it. You just, man, I just needed a place. I just needed a place. Anytime I jumped into a place and rented, I just needed a place. Usually, if you're looking for somewhere that you really want to be, it's a process, a month to 6 months. And that's why I tell you guys, give it a month to 6 months. But if you follow my instructions within a month to 6 months, 1 year, I promise you. Now, with that being said, time is of essence. Prices keep going through the roof. I just had a conversation with one of my students, Steven. He saw a property for 8,000 3 years ago. I actually sent him the same property he was looking at 3 years ago. It's crazy coincidence. He's like, dang, they want 29,000 now? I said, yeah. He's like, man, that's crazy. I ain't paying that. I say, you better. I showed him on Zillow how the same properties in that area are going for that price. He's like, dang, why the prices went up? Prices are going up, guys. Prices are going up. Stuff you think is going to always be 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, 20,000 is now 30, 40, 50, 60,000. That property you think is 30,000 and it's too much is going to be 60,000 next year. I promise you. Next 3 years, next 4 years is going to be $60,000. You might as well lock it in now and make that 30,000 spread, that 30,000 difference. I promise you. The reason why I know prices are not going down is because number one, the population is growing. Number two, it's growing not by birth rates, but by people coming to this country. They're allowing so many people into this country. It's ridiculous. And again, I'm not against it. I'm not against it. Long as you coming in the right way. I'm not against it. Everybody came into this country. Everybody, every white people, everybody's an immigrant in this country. All right. The next thing is the people that are buying properties right now are using real money. Where they get this money from? They just dump more money into the economy in the past 3, 4 years than throughout the history of money printing. We now have an excess, some 30 something trillion dollars in the economy right now that was not there 3, 4 years ago. So there's like 30 something trillion dollars in the economy that smart people are using it to buy property. So this is why um see, let me show you guys the national debt. The national debt, this is how much money they done dumped in the economy. What is the national debt?
The United States is the total national debt owed by the federal government of the United States to Treasury security holders.
We're at 34 trillion. How much is the national debt?
$34 trillion. According to PBS, the national debt eclipsed $34 trillion several years sooner than pre-pandemic projections. The Congressional Budget Office's January 2020 projections had gross federal debt eclipsing $34 trillion in fiscal year 2029.
See, since January 2020, since January 2020, we became $34 trillion in debt. The people that have this money are putting it in real estate. They're buying a property. All right. So you need to buy something. What's going up? Everything but your paycheck. Your money gonna be the same 9 times out of 10. So how the hell, if you complaining now about paying 30,000 and all you make is 10, 15, $20 an hour, how the hell are you gonna afford 60,000 on 10, 20, 10, 15, $20 an hour in 3, 4 years? I'm telling you guys, make that sacrifice now. Get what you can afford now. I know you want 3, 4, 5 acres, but all you can afford is a quarter acre, a tenth of an acre. Get that. When the property value go up, and say you buy it for 10,000, but in 3, 4, 5 years it's worth 20,000, and you done paid it off in 3, 4, 5 years, that's $20,000. You have cash. You can sell that property and take them $20,000 and then go buy your 3, 4, 5 acres. You could take them $20,000 and go put down on your 3, 4, 5 acres. That's how that go. That's how that go. It's just like if you was renting or if you was buying a house. Do you when you go buy a house, do you buy your dream house, or do they put you in a starter home? You go in a starter home. So stop thinking you're not gonna be in a starter home doing this. It's the same process. We putting you in a starter home. That's if you're renting, we're putting you renting is for transition. You're going into a transitional home. That's all this is. It's the same thing. It's just that instead of renting or buying conventionally, you're in the middle. You're in the middle. You're in the middle. You're dealing directly with the owner as if you was renting, but you're treating the owner like the bank, as if you're dealing with the bank and that the owner is becoming the bank. That's all you're doing. Instead of saying, please, can you rent to me? Please, can you rent to me? But instead of renting to me, I'm going to give you the same money, but I'm going to own it after 3, 4, 5 years, 10 years, 30 years. But you don't have to fix one toilet. I'm never going to call you to fix nothing. Yeah, that's all you're doing. You guys have any more questions? You got to process it. I just wanted to do this because I'm trying out the Sunday thing, and I recorded it on YouTube, and I hope it recorded good. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this as in a link, so only you guys that have the link will be able to use this to see this video. They won't be able to see this on YouTube. I'll probably leave it on YouTube for about a week or so, but then it's gonna be only accessible by you guys in the class, so you guys can go back and watch it anytime. So I'm kind of trying something. I'm experimenting with something right now. The general public, you guys paid for your class, so they're not going to have access to the same information that I give you guys. But I want you guys to be able to access the information at least for a week to process it and look over it. And then I'm going to take it off YouTube. And then I'm going to download it in a way after that. But you guys got to give me time to download it, like a week or two. And I'm going to put it in a class in a way that you guys will have access to it forever. So I'm trying to work that out. So so people that didn't come to class, they can now watch the video, the replay. So I don't want to take up you guys' time. You still have time to enjoy your yay, and you guys enjoy it, please. I know Miss Nadine took off for church for this, and I'll see you guys Tuesday. All right. Grat- Gratitude to you also, and you guys call me if you get stuck. Okay. Remember, that's all you need is them 5 pieces of paper. That's all you need is them 5 pieces of paper. All right. You ain't got to fill out no application, no job verification. Throw your W-2s in the garbage. You only use them for your taxes now, not to buy property. You don't need nothing. Your credit, you only doing fixing your credit for everything else but real estate. You don't need it to buy real estate no more. All right. All right. Gratitude and love. Talk to you guys later. You're welcome. All right. And for you guys on YouTube, my phone number 754-229-0940. 754-229-0940. 754-229-0940. The mastermind, again, rewatch the video from the beginning. The classes start from 99, excuse me, $55, 55 $15 if you come per class. Every time you come to class is $15. You could pay in advance for the year $55, which I'm probably gonna raise that to 75. Next time I come on here, it's gonna be 75. And if you just want to be in a mastermind and get the information, it's $111. If you want one-on-one, it's $222. And if you want one-on-one, plus you want me to show you how to set up your property to make money for you, it's $333. And if you say, Dragon, I don't have time for none of it. I know you the master at this. That's why they call you the master, Dragon Manifest. Set it all up for me, set up the business for me and everything. And I'll pay you, okay, that fee is $999. $999. All right. Now, with that being said, my price is only going to keep going up. My prices are only going to keep going up, guys. Every now and then I run a special, but for the most part, my price is only going to keep going up. Now, you say, Dragon, you talk about owner finance and land. Why don't you owner finance your mastermind? Yes. If you don't have the whole $55, $111, $222, $333, $999. Talk to me. We'll work it out. Tell me what you can do, what you can afford. Uh, $25 a week, $50 a week. Normally, the minimum I do is $25 a week, $50 a week. Um, okay, and we'll get started. All right. 754-229-0940. 754-229-0940. Talk to you later, guys. Peace.